As the program indicated, we have an all-star lunch panel here, and I'm delighted to introduce this topic. Again, I'm Greg Scheu, and I'll be your host for this discussion. We're going to continue the conversation on digitalization as it relates to operational excellence and how important this is in driving, through collaboration, the outcome of your business in getting the benefits of digitalization. Let me start by introducing our panel. First, immediately to my side here, your right, my left, Sandy Vasser has nearly 4 decades of experience in the oil and gas industry with special emphasis on design, construction, commissioning, operation, and maintenance of automation and power facilities. He led a very strong team within Exxon Mobil that partnered with suppliers and engineering firms to develop new technology and dramatically change the way major capital projects are executed. His team challenged every historical practice and procedure to eliminate steps no longer necessary, automate many steps that could not be eliminated, and greatly simplify steps that must be manually executed. The net result was the historical problems and challenges that have plagued the execution of major projects were completely mitigated. Thank you for joining us, Sandy. Next to his right, Narinder Singh is the Vice President of Engineering for OLAM International. OLAM International is a leading agribusiness operating from seed to shelf in 70 countries, supplying food and industrial raw materials to over 16,200 customers worldwide. In his current role, Narinder is responsible for global engineering, EHS, energy, procurement, and continuous improvement for spices and vegetable ingredients. Narinder also spearheads the Americas for Manufacturing and Technical Services initiative. Before joining OLAM, Narinder worked with Pepsi and Joyco as part of the Mars Group of companies. Narinder has 21 years of experience across the food and agricultural industry in India, Brazil, Argentina, and the United States. Thanks for joining us, Narinder. Next, Sami Atiya is the president of the Robotics and Motion Division at ABB and a member of the Group Executive Committee and a great colleague of mine. He has served in the industry for more than 20 years in both the United States and Europe. Sami has tremendous experience in leading industrial portfolios across a wide range of markets, as well as a proven track record of delivering strong results in growth, restructuring, and integration. Sami holds a PhD in the field of robotics, sensors, and data processing, and multiple master's degrees, including one from MIT, in electrical engineering and automation and business administration. Sami, glad to have you with us. So what we'd like to do is begin with the thoughts of these very strong leaders as it relates to digitalization and how to drive operational excellence from their experience. And I'll start with you, Sandy. Your thoughts, please.
Yeah, so at this current time, doing things completely differently is essential for us. Even before the price of oil dropped, we were executing projects in very harsh environments, in locations where there wasn't much infrastructure, and these projects were extremely costly to deliver, and so we needed to find different approaches to deliver these projects at a lower cost and a shorter schedule. And then with the price of oil dropping, that just magnified that problem, such that we are literally challenging the way that we do just about everything that we do to find more efficient, more effective ways to deliver projects at a lower cost. The other thing that's important to us is on the side of operations. So when these facilities are turned over, we've got to maintain them for the next 30 or 40 years or more. And it's essential that we find ways to operate the facilities less costs, find ways to improve our uptime and minimize downtime, as well as find ways to increase throughput through the facilities. And so taking full advantage of the technologies that we have today is an important thing that we pursue at this time.
Thank you, Sandy, for your thoughts. Narinder, we've got different industries, diverse industries here, from oil, gas, chemical, food, and agricultural. What are your views on this topic?
Sure. OLAM as a company, we had started in 1989 out of Nigeria. And our first product was exporting raw cashew nuts from Nigeria to India. We started our business with $100,000 of capital, with 3 employees and 4 customers. Today, we operate in 70 countries with $14 billion of revenues, and we have more than 200 facilities globally, 60,000 employees and 16,200 customers worldwide. We operate in 16 different platforms.
That's a great growth story. We got to stop right there.
And 50 different products. So we are from, and all of those products are agriculture based. We are from cocoa, coffee, sugar, rice, timber, dehydrated onions, spices business, different kind of nuts. So that's the kind of portfolio we have, very diverse portfolio. So digital for us is leveraging data and technology to enhance our competitive position, our cost position, and creating new innovative business ideas. So what is happening there? There are quite a few areas of digital which are creating opportunities in our business. Starting from industrial Internet of Things, big data, unmanned vehicles like drones we use for fertilizer dispensers, different kind of systems and apps. All of these things are creating value in our business. If we see entire value chain which we have, starting from farming to primary processing, secondary processing, distribution, retailing, this entire value chain has digital role to play through apps, analytics, and connected supply chain. So from our side, I think, let me start a little bit with the farming. So farming, the art of farming is changing to science of farming now. I think with every click, we are creating and generating more data. But important is, from the data, what kind of insight we get. And more importantly, whether we can use those insights to create value for the business in terms of bottom line improvements. So we are using smart sensors and a lot of other innovative ideas where we are generating NDVA, stress levels, and a lot of other parameters in the farming. And from that, we are improving yield and we are improving quality. Similarly, if I go to the processing side or manufacturing side, the key challenges are, you heard this, cost, regulatory environment, productivity increase. So there are quite a few different areas which we are trying to digitize and see how we can create value for the business. So there are 4 different key areas we are working right now. And the first one is machine efficiency. And machine efficiency is through OEE improvement. The second one is material efficiency. How can we reduce our wastage and rework? Third area is manpower efficiency through automation. And for that, can we produce more with the same manpower, or can we produce same with the less manpower? So that's a kind of mantra. And the last area, which is very important, it's all others. And there are a whole host of things in that. And energy management or energy optimization is one of the key area or tool which is very important for us. And in that energy management, we were, in the past what we were doing, we had a very transactional approach. So there are few opportunities are there. You reduce cost through energy conservation. So change lights from normal lighting to LED lighting, change some compressors and so on. Then we stepped back and started thinking, we need to really start putting our strategy together and how we can collect and get the data to sub-metering and optimize the process. So that's a direction we started moving.
Thank you, Narinder. There's a lot of substance there and a lot of good topics to come back to with what you and Sandy have covered. First, let's hear from Sami Atiya, perspective on this topic. Sami, from your point of view.
Well, thank you, Greg, and hello, everybody. It's a great pleasure to sit here with our customers who use our technology. It's an exciting time, digitalization in manufacturing and digitalization in operations for our customers. We see a quite variety in our customer base from the ones who are, when I ask them, so how are you driving Industry 4.0? So customers tell me, so we are at 2.2, so help us to get up there. You know, some basic connectivity of data is not there, plants were not connected, so we are at stages that are, you know, far from 4.0. But then we have customers like in the automotive industry who are stretching the envelope on the digital side, and you know, a couple of our customers on the robotics sides that large plants, they produce 1 car per minute, which is about $1 million for 1 hour downtime. So that's a lot of money. If the plant shut down for 1 hour, that's a problem. Now, the problem that they have is not the shutdown, it's that they plan to shut down in certain hours. But the planned downtime is not based on the actual status of the motors and the robots, but it's based on the availability of the staff. But we turned it around and said, actually, you should not shut down with a planned schedule, but shut down when it's necessary. So we do for our customers remote monitoring. We have 6,000 robots worldwide where we monitor on a central system in Finland and in Bangalore. And we can assess the health of the assets today and tell our customers, you know what, the health of the asset is doing well, so you need to not service now, but if in sense of urgency, we bring in service people and we monitor it. So we have the very far advanced, we have the ones who need more support, but it's a great opportunity to improve flexibility and agility of operations. So that's quite an interesting journey with our customers.
Thank you, Sami. And that brings me to maybe a view that I want to dig into a little deeper here with Narinder and followed by Sandy. If you look at a recent McKinsey study, when it relates to manufacturing executives and digitalization, 80% of the surveyed by McKinsey say that digital manufacturing and digital design are critical drivers for competitiveness in their business. Yet, 10% of those same people rate their organization's digital capability as high. So we've got ambition meets reality. You're solving this, Narinder. I know we're on a journey here, and it's not all at once, but break it down for us. How do you prioritize this? How do you create business value, and how do you address these gaps in capability?
Right. So first of all, we heard about 50 billion connected devices by 2020. We heard that 40% of data will be generated and created by smart sensors. And then IT and OT conversions. All of these things are creating a lot of values for the industry. So what we are doing, we are looking for the factory of the future. And if you ask, we don't have all the answers at this point of time. So some of the areas where we think which are very relevant to our business, and once again linking with the bottom line and linking with what the digital transformation will bring to us, and linking with what the disruptive technology can come and disrupt our business, there are few areas we have shortlisted. And some of those areas are digital inventory management, doing the smart plants, we call it as factory of the future. And for that, energy optimization has a very big role. So we have started working on productivity, improvements in the quality, traceability. So these are some of the key areas and key challenges which are there in the industry. And we are working how we can really find solutions for that. So we cannot go full-fledged and change what has been established in the last 20, 30, 40 years in one day. So we are trying a lot of pilots globally in our plants. And I'll give you one example. The last year, we started with remote monitoring in one of our plants. So we have a plant, which is a tomato processing plant, and it runs only 80 days in a year. And if the downtime is there and during those 80 days, it's a big problem for us. And just to give you the scale of that plant, we process 500 trucks in a day in that plant. So for all the critical equipment, we established and put remote sensors. And then we were monitoring all the data 24/7. And the result was 30% less downtime just by doing that initiative. And now we are expanding that initiative to quite a few other plants. And we cannot do it, all of these things by ourselves. So we are partnering with companies like ABB and finding out what are the really right solutions. What could be the disruptive technology coming in our industry. And I think that partnership, Greg, is really working very well because we are in a food business, food is our expertise, but at the same time when it comes to technology, we are partnering with companies like ABB and it's helping us.
Well, thanks for that, Narinder. Appreciate that. That helps pay for lunch. Sandy, you and I have worked together for maybe not all 4 decades of your experience. And you must have started when you were 5 years old, looking at you. But the last couple decades. And I've watched you really be a huge change agent inside Exxon Mobil. And here we have a traditional company with a lot of history, same ambitions we've talked about, driving performance, operational excellence. Tell us a little bit about how you've gone about this, what you've learned, what you could share with the audience.
Yeah, first thing is that one of the bigger challenges is that we had to overcome what I call the burden, bias, and baggage of doing things the way we've always done them. For many, many years, we tried to make incremental improvements. We would take existing processes or existing technologies and make incremental improvements and thinking that that was going to solve our problems. And we did that for a little while. We tried approaches that the rest of the industry was taking to do project execution. But we never achieved what we were hoping to achieve. We were still suffering many of the same problems. And what we concluded is that many of the problems was almost independent upon who the operator was. It was independent upon who engineering contractor you were using. It was almost independent of the suppliers that you were using. Regardless of their performance, we were still experiencing the same kind of project problems in project delivery. And what we concluded is that they were almost forced by the processes that we were following. And that the only way that we were going to make a dramatic transformational change was to almost forget about the way that we've been doing it for the past 2 to 3 decades and to think about things totally differently. And so